All right, welcome back, everyone. We turn now to one of the toughest spots on the course. Today it was the men's wheelchair winner, Marcel Hug, who took a tumble but managed to win anyway.
What an incredible experience for him, an unbelievable race. So what makes Heartbreak Hill so tough? Well, we talked to Newtonians who know. Many things come to mind when you think of the Boston Marathon. There are the runners, of course, those electric cheering crowds. And then there are the hills, the Newton Hills.
A lot of times this is where the race starts.
From miles 16 to 21, runners push through a series of 4 grueling hills. But
it's where the hills fall, not necessarily the size of them, that make them so notorious.
At the corner of Commonwealth Ave, at mile 17, stands a symbol of bravery and community spirit, the Firehouse.
What's it like here on Marathon Monday, and what do you guys do on Marathon Monday?
It's electric. This is the corner where it's wall-to-wall people. We're part of the race.
Amid the roar of the cheering crowds, the firefighters of Newton serve as guardians, their commitment to duty matched by their dedication to supporting the Newton Firefighters Children's Fund. Lieutenant Shane Medeiros co-runs the fund.
In the mid-2000s, we had 3 guys pass away that had 8 different children between the 3 of them, and we felt as a department we needed to come together and support them financially and get through that, so we started the fund.
You turn it into a formal nonprofit at some point.
So now any firefighter that passes away in the state with children under 21 at Christmas time, we make a donation to their family.
The fund receives 10 bibs for Marathon Monday, 5 going to Newton firefighters, including Matt Camilli.
Just knowing that I'm helping out the families of the fallen firefighters, you know, it definitely changes the perspective of when I'm running.
And once Camilli hits mile 20, he's nearing the last of the 4 hills, Heartbreak Hill. The hill, of course, named for the hearts it tests and the spirits it strengthens or breaks.
Heartbreak Hill got its name in the 1936 Boston Marathon. Defending champion Johnny Kelly was lined up against Ellison Brown. When they got to the 4th hill and the series of hills in Newton, Ellison passed him and went on to win the race. It was said that it was on that 4th and final hill that Ellison broke Johnny Kelly's heart, and the name stuck.
At its base is Heartbreak Hill Running Company.
We called our store Heartbreak Hill Running Company because I think there's just something true to heartbreak if you care about anything. If it's love, if it's life, it's anything, there's always that line on the other side.
As thousands of thundering footsteps scale the inclines, Dan Fitzgerald says keep one thing in mind.
You shouldn't be going to war with a pile of dirt. It's just a steep incline. You should relax, slow down, and just get through the hill.
Because that finish line is in sight.
Oh, those hills. And joining us now, the busiest man in Boston today.
The CEO of the Boston Athletic Association, Jack Fleming. Jack, first of all, congratulations. But I have to say, we see you in a wonderful way so much today because you are right there as the official greeter when people come across the finish line. What is that like for you to meet those winners as they come across?
It's humbling. So many people work so hard their entire lives, whether they're a professional athlete or someone who's running Boston for the first time. We really understand what it takes to run a marathon, so it's humbling.
Was there a particular moment or moments, rather, that stood out to you today?
There was. I was happened to be present for the final finisher just a few minutes ago, and to see on this gentleman's face, I could just see in his eyes what he had been through to get to Boston, get to the starting line, and run down Boylston Street, and the emotion poured out of his eyes. It was amazing to witness.
There for the winners and there for the last person across the finish line. That's what Jack Fleming's all about. How do you guys, your marathon team, celebrate after a day like today?
We just reflect, really. I mean, everybody has a a medal that is around their neck right now, and you can just go up to them and ask them about their story. It really is about them. They are the ones that inspire us as an organization. We're a very small organization, and they fuel us.
And just quickly, Jack, looking around, seeing this party, seeing all the runners today, that fulfilling dreams, many of them, what does that mean to you?
That's we're a small nonprofit organization, 40 members, 40 staff, and it is our mission to inspire those to have running not as a competition, but as a healthy lifestyle. Just move. And when you move, you inspire those around you to do the same. That's really what we're about as the Boston Athletic Association. The Boston Marathon's a big deal.
You do that better than anybody, Jack.
Sure
You
do.
really do. Congratulations on a wonderful day and a wonderful marathon. Well deserved.
Thank you for joining us.
We'll be right back from City Hall after this.